Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here, with Malik, curators of the Philosophy Archive. We left Absurdism last time at even Sisyphus, Camus' emblem, can be questioned. Today, we pick up where we left off. Absurdism's greatest test is not found in the silence of the world, but in the voices that challenge it. The critics weigh heavily on Camus's philosophy. Some claim it's noble but fragile. If the world is truly silent, why should lucidity be better than illusion? Camus's insistence on honesty as a virtue raises questions. Can we accept that on faith?
Aurelius, you frame the critics as mere voices, but there's so much more than that. They represent a fundamental challenge to absurdism. Camus's insistence on lucidity can feel a bit dogmatic at times. If honesty is self-evident, what about those who find comfort in illusion? It's not just an academic question. It's a serious critique of his moral stance. Think about the real people behind these ideas, the ones struggling to find meaning in a chaotic world.
Consider Kierkegaard, for instance. He saw despair not as a dead end, but as a vital passage to faith. That distinction is crucial. On the other hand, Camus identifies the wound of existence but outright rejects the cure of transcendence. In doing so, he risks overlooking the deeper truths that despair can unveil. It's a striking gap between their philosophies, one that speaks volumes about how we navigate our own struggles in life and the legacies we create.
Exactly, Aurelius. Kierkegaard emphasizes that despair can lead to something greater, something that can transform our lives. Camus overlooks that possibility. He sees any leap of faith as a betrayal of honesty. But for those who believe, that silence isn't the end. It's a call to rise above our suffering. Camus' approach is compelling, but it may overlook how faith can provide not just comfort, but also a sense of purpose and connection in the midst of chaos.
And then we have Sartre. He shares Camus's skepticism of ready-made meaning, but he diverges on freedom. Sartre champions radical choice and self-making, insisting that we create our own essence. Camus, however, seems more restrained, wary of the violence that can lurk within such self-creation. Their split after the war highlights deeper ideological divides that can't be ignored. This tension is crucial for grasping absurdism's role in existential thought and how it shapes our understanding of human experience.
Aurelius, it's not just about their personal split. It's about the world they lived in. Europe was emerging from catastrophe, and people were grappling with the consequences. The question of what one is willing to excuse in the name of a cause becomes urgent. This is where Camus' caution meets criticism, especially in the political realm.
Camus's critique in The Rebel is striking and incredibly relevant. He challenges revolutionary systems that justify violence in the name of future gain. This isn't just an academic exercise. It's grounded in the grim reality of post-war violence. Political language became tainted, and killing was often packaged as a historical necessity. We need to heed his warning. In a world so eager for justification, we risk repeating the mistakes of the past if we don't question the narratives we're fed.
But his caution also drew criticism from many quarters. Some people argue he lacked a robust theory of structural injustice. If you're too wary of the ends, can you ever truly justify the means to fight against oppression? That's a real concern. Measure can easily slip into hesitation, and hesitation can leave those in power feeling secure. This is where Camus' philosophy starts to feel inadequate, especially when we consider the real human costs involved in the struggle for justice.
Concrete examples highlight this tension. A dissident under totalitarian rule often needs more than just lyrical revolt. She needs a well-thought-out strategy. In societies under colonial domination, patience can become a luxury we can't afford. Camus, shaped by his experiences in colonial Algeria, faced this very challenge. His cautious approach might seem inadequate when lives hang in the balance. Often we have to ask ourselves, what good is philosophy when the stakes are so high?
Exactly. The language of measure can feel weak when faced with organized domination. Nihilism adds another layer of difficulty. If the universe is indifferent to our struggles, then why not see all our efforts as arbitrary? But Camus pushes back on that idea. He says that just because things seem pointless, it doesn't take away from our experiences. Pain still hurts deeply, love still connects us, and injustice still leaves scars. Yet, the nihilists ask, does that care even matter in the end?
This balancing act is never fully settled. Even Sisyphus, Camus' emblem, deserves scrutiny. The myth dignifies labor without hope, but does it also romanticize suffering? We risk aestheticizing misery in our quest for meaning. Camus' image compels us, sure, but we mustn't forget the weight of the stone. Each push upward is a reminder of our burdens. It's a delicate dance between dignity and despair, a struggle that echoes through the ages, shaping how we perceive resilience and futility.
And that's the crux of it. Camus' prose can feel like a beautifully described room with no exit. The style can mislead us into thinking it's proof. The real issue is how to live with these ideas. The stakes are high, and the criticisms only sharpen absurdism's seriousness. It's a philosophy that must stand up to scrutiny.
What remains after this ordeal is a posture, a stance we take in the face of chaos. It's a refusal without illusion, fidelity without guarantee. Absurdism survives, not because it provides absolute proof, but precisely because it understands our deep-seated yearning for meaning amidst the absurd. It carries the weight of criticisms, all while staying relevant in our discourse. This is the landscape absurdism must navigate to endure, a delicate balance we all grapple with.
That's where we leave it this time. Absurdism continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Philosophy Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.